Hello and welcome. This is Alchemistexe, and this is the banner overview for the week of June 30th. So, it is the last week for discount tickets for June, even though it's bled into July. And the banners are a little bit all over the place. Like, I definitely think there's some good options, but every single one of them has like some kind of fine print associated with it. So, I'll go over each of those, and then I'm also going to summon a little bit, and uh, I'll say which one I'm doing after I'm done, because I feel like that'll make more sense as for what my reasoning is going to be. So as far as grand summons go, I don't think that there's anything particularly noteworthy, either too expensive or just kind of self-explanatory. Now, there's a banner for Mira. This one is kind of interesting because it has summer campaign coins instead of the usual Genesis coins. So if you are like the world's biggest Mira fan, and you hadn't gotten her yet, you could get her with this banner and then get shards of her using the summer coins. Then next time Genesis rolls around, get your hands on some more Genesis coins and get even more shards of her, and then you get to pay the cheaper price more than once for the different shards. So that is not going to be applicable to most people, but that might be helpful for those giant Mira fans out there. Next up is going to be the 3-step banners. So normally I'm not a big fan of 3-step banners unless the step 3 comes with a selector rather than just randomized shards. And that is the case here. So I don't think that these banners are good if you're just trying to get the unit. But if you've got discount tickets, especially like me, if you've got 3 discount tickets, then you can get 25 shards of your chosen unit, which in this case would be Lilith or Nesha or Aira or Morrigan. I assume, like, especially if you've been playing a long time, that you probably have more shards of Roxanne and Xion than you really need at this point, but if that doesn't describe you, then you could add them to the list as well. So insofar as trying to transmute or trying to cap out a gate, that 25 shards can be really helpful, and then it being cheaper than the Louis shop, plus being able to buy some extra shards with the summer campaign coins, makes it not a bad way to burn discount tickets. I think that this and then one of the other banners, I don't think that they're worth it at full price, but if you're just burning discount tickets, then I think that it becomes a good deal. So now we come to one of the interesting banners. There's one for units and one for mementos. Now you can't use discount tickets on this, so it doesn't really work from the perspective of just trying to burn through those. But as far as whether or not to summon on this, I think that it could be really good, especially if you are on the newer end of the spectrum and you're trying to just fill out your roster. Then if you're a veteran, the memento one might be more handy. But the basic premise here is each step is 3 units, and they're always 5 stars, and the percentage chance of getting limited gets progressively higher until you get to 5, and it's 100%. So at the worst possible luck, you've got 3 out of 15 for limiteds, and then more people will definitely get more than that, whether, you know, it's like 4 to 6. Now, you can't control what you get, but if you're just trying to cast a wide net, it's pretty gem efficient. So the only thing I would say is if you are saving up for something in particular, and you're especially like under like the 20k gem threshold, I would hold off on doing it. And also, if you're unsure about what's coming for July, ideally they'll release the monthly updates tomorrow, but even if they don't, there should be some good indicators of what's coming on Wednesday. So you could definitely hold off until Wednesday if you're on the fence about summoning on one of these. So next up we get to the targeted summons, and much like the other one, there are 2 versions, one's for units and one's for mementos. So unlike a lot of the other targeted banners, this one you only pick 1. However, there's no way you can actually guarantee that you'll get the featured unit that you want. So I think that it's a good use of burning discount tickets, like especially just to go like 3 steps, and so you get 1,500 gems to try to take a stab at the unit. Because the step 3 is interesting because it boosts the rate to 25%, and you're guaranteed at least 1 5-star unit. So that makes that probability boost a lot more helpful, because the problem that a lot of the 5-star or 5-step unlimiteds for a 5-star have is that, like, say for the Mirror one, for example, sure, you get boosted rate on step 3, but it doesn't mean anything if you don't get any 5 stars, because then like 2 times 0 is still 0. However, in the case of this, it's instead of 2, it's 25, and you're guaranteed a 5-star. That just helps a lot. So I still wouldn't consider it reliable, but if you've got a unit that you really want to get, or at least really want to take a stab at getting for very little gems, all of this is assuming you've got 3 discount tickets, because I don't think it's worth the gems if you don't. So for me, that unit would be Alchemistexe. So that is what I am going to do with my discount tickets. So I'll do that after I finish covering the rest of the banners. So next up is a 9-step for summer mementos. So there's some good ones in this pool. Like if you're a fan of Mira's, hers is good, especially if you've got Gate 6 on her. Suzuka's got a great one as well. So if there was one of these that you really wanted and you missed it when it first came around, it's a good time to catch the rerun. I wouldn't really recommend doing it unless either A, you're going to go all the way to step 9 and get the selector, or B, you just want to do 2 steps with discount tickets and see if you get lucky. Pretty much the same thing applies to this one, except instead of summer themed, it's just global themed. But some of them, like Lilith, absolutely great memento for her. And then Naisha as well, if you want to use her as a supreme debuffer. And of course Morrigan being one of the best fire units, or maybe just one of the best magic units. Definitely wants both of her mementos. So then here's the 5-step for the mementos. Everything I said about the unit equivalent of this one applies here. Just swap units from mementos. I suppose that this one would have a slightly higher value rating, all other things being equal, just because limited mementos are more scarce than limited units in totality, insofar as there's no limited mementos you can farm, so you're not going to have your pool be diluted in that sense. But on the downside, getting limited mementos for units you don't use and don't have doesn't help you as much, so it does kind of balance out in that sense. And then another interesting but not altogether important note for the targeted memento banner is that it's 1% lower chance to get the featured memento on any given step, and it's like 1.5 instead of 2.5. I honestly don't think that matters that much, because that's such a low percent chance anyway that I think if most people are going to get lucky, it's going to be on step 3 or step 5. And then beyond that, the Shenmei stuff is still going on, so if you wanted to try and grab her memento, maybe you were just waiting for that one extra final discount ticket to make the 9-step a little bit cheaper, then that is around as well. So yeah, that is it for the overview of the banners themselves. Next up, let's take a stab at that targeted unit banner. Alright, so I definitely don't have particularly high expectations for the results of this summoning, but it's 1500 gems, and if I did happen to get Alchemistexe, I think that'd be pretty cool. I think I need support units more than I need damage dealers at this point. So I'm definitely not expecting much on the first 2 steps, just because 2.5 is very, very low. It's happened to me before, but certainly not often. But that 3rd step, the 25% chance, I think is pretty decent. So this first result does have 1 red in it, assuming none of the yellows change. Not sure if you can get other limiteds or just everything is normal pool. Oh, well, look at that. That is exactly the opposite of my expectations, but in a good way, in the best possible way. Alright, well, I have Alchemistexe, and now there's no more reason to do this banner, so I better think on my feet here. What's good for 2 discount tickets? Probably just one of the memento banners. So that means Shenmei Summer, the one global summer, or they call it a summer banner, but it's just regular global mementos, and then the other swimsuit one. Okay, yeah, okay, I have Alchemistexe now. That's pretty cool. I don't have a ton of shards of her. I think I have like 50, something like that, but, well, I'll start farming her out in the Soulport. So, okay, that was very, very unexpected, to the point where I didn't make a contingency plan of what to do with the other 2 discount tickets. So at this point, I think, let's see, I have Nesha's, Lilith's, Morrigan's, Era's. The only one I don't have is Shion there. And then for this one, the only one I don't have is Albea's. But I have less duplicates on this one, so I'm going to go with this one. And it probably won't matter anyway, because it's not like this one has a small pool. And the guaranteed one on step 2 is not going to necessarily be one of the featured. So it could end up just being any old memento. But yeah, let's just go ahead and see what happens. It's I'm still pretty glad that I got her on that first step. That almost never happens to me. I can think of very, very few instances where that ended up being the case. I know Claris is one where I don't know if it was in the first step, but it was within like 2 steps of her banner that I think I was just either burning a discount ticket or burning the free tickets, something like that. And also similarly to Claris in this case, I also don't have Locke's memento, but that's a very cross that bridge when I get to it. I think just the base of her kit is cool enough as it is. Ooh, that is the opposite of good luck. But I cannot complain. I could get just 100 vision coins and 9 other blues on step 2, and I still absolutely cannot complain because the luck scales would still be very, very balanced in favor of good. All right, let's see what that final little step looks like. Oh, actually, no. This won't be the last thing I do because I do have a couple of summon tickets that I'll burn, one of which is guaranteed to be limited. Because I did end up getting oh, okay, well, one of these is clearly going to change. I did end up getting the paid version of the Battle Pass just because I thought it was too good of a deal to pass up. I do not remember if I have that one max limit broken or not. I think Ewan is really fun to use. I don't think he's particularly useful in a lot of contexts, but there's a few where just if enemies are all running at you, then good times. Also a good synergy with Oct, which is always nice. So yeah, that's the end of that summoning. So not particularly noteworthy, but let's just go ahead and knock out the regular memento summon ticket. So yeah, the sum of these 2 tickets is going to be more than the actual summoning that I got. But that's how it goes sometimes. That's why guarantees are really, really important. Alright, so just the regular old normal pool one is going to be... Oh, nice. Irene's. I definitely don't have that one max limit broken. I think I've only got 1 copy of that. She's another one of those units where I don't use her a ton, but she can be really, really handy to have sometimes. Just any of the units that get that extra turn when they kill something. And then also being Dark Missile is a good combination as well. So, final thing is limited memento. I wonder if I'm going to get something new. I feel like I haven't gotten, aside from the Locke's earlier today, I haven't really gotten a new thing in a while, but especially with mementos. All right, and the result is going to be Andex. Oh, God. Oh, man. I am on my way to having 2 max limit broken copies of this, which, oh, well, it's an absolutely excellent memento to have max limit broken, but the game, you can stop now. I have plenty of them. So, yeah, that's all I got for this week. If you're summoning, I hope your luck is as good or better than mine, and I will see you all next time.